All right. So good morning. My name is Nellie Kenny, and I am the Smoothing and Extension Specialist for the North with Evolve Salon Systems. I still work at a salon in Boston. I've been behind the chair for 6 years, and just a little bit of background on me. When I first started in the hair industry, I always knew that I wanted to explore the field of education while remaining behind the chair. I get a lot of joy in those little aha moments. And even now, I still take classes on a regular basis just to kind of expand on all the knowledge that I'm getting. So thanks to Evolve, the opportunity to become a specialist fell into my lap, and that is what brings me here today. All right, so first and foremost, thank you for taking the time to tune into this presentation today on Keratin Express. I'm really excited to share more information on the brand with you. I think that it is a very unique brand, and it does have a lot of cool features and benefits that separate it from other keratin treatments on the market. So the key points that I want to go over with you today are a little bit about the brand story and how it came to be, the features and benefits, kind of the technology that makes it work. This is a very technology-based brand. Sorry, I have cats. This is a technology-based brand, so there is a lot of chemistry information that goes into why it works the way it does. So we are going to be going over that a little bit. And then I also want to go over a brief product overview so you can get an idea of what the line offers. Okay, so the brand was founded in 2010 by Robert and Natalia Rothermill. They are a married couple, and they wanted to bring simplicity to the professional smoothing industry. The idea was to create a smaller, less confusing product line, reduced service and processing times for keratin treatments, because we know that they can be very time consuming, especially if these are people that are coming in every, 2 to 3 months for them, just depending on the treatment that they're using. So this is the ability to pair it with services like a color and a haircut on 6-week cycles, and to make keratin treatments more affordable for clients. They worked closely with Dr. Ron DeSalvo, who is a leading expert in hair care treatments, and he works closely in research and development with top scientific boards. I like to throw out this little fun fact about how he has worked with the team that formulated the brand Perfect Skin. And if you don't know, Perfect Skin is the skincare line that's used by the Kardashians. So it's always fun to throw in like really high profile celebrity names when you're talking about a treatment like this that we're using on our clients, because it does have really educated, really world-renowned chemists working behind it. So Keratin Express, being born in 2010, was the first company to develop an express keratin smoothing treatment. And I think it's really important to keep in mind that Keratin Express is not a straightening treatment. I think a lot of clients assume a keratin treatment is going to completely straighten out their hair. When they wash it, they're not going to have as much curl anymore. This is created for smoothing. So I like to stress the importance of, the consultations. Those are the type of things that we want to bring up, is that they are going to see a reduction in their curl pattern, but it's because we're reducing all of the frizz in the hair. Their hair is immediately going to look a little smoother than what their natural curl might be. Okay, so I'm going to start by going over the features and the key ingredients of the brand, and then I'll go a little bit more in depth with the features and what exactly it is that they do. So to start, some of the main benefits of using the Keratin Express line are that it's going to reduce and eliminate frizz, and also reduce the blow drying time up to 50%. Because of the key ingredients, so you'll see here I have it listed, the CM neutralizing complex technology, hydrolyzed keratin protein, and Tremedi's Versicolor extract. These are mouthfuls. I am going to break down what each of these is, because it doesn't mean anything to me otherwise. When I first started learning about this, I had no idea what any of this was. So we'll go over that a little bit just so you get a better idea of what it is. So the key ingredients are going to help balance the moisture in the hair. It's going to help protect the longevity of your color. With being color safe, it's also good to note that the product line is going to extend the longevity of any keratin treatments you have in your hair too, but you don't need to have a keratin treatment to use the products in the line, like the aftercare. That's just, it's a beneficial product on its own. But if you are using the Keratin Express Extra or Plus, it's really great to pair it with their aftercare. So we are going to be referring to those 3 key ingredients a lot. Bear with me. Okay, so this is a CM neutralizing complex. This helps neutralize chemicals and elements found in your city water. Those are typically chlorine, ammonia, and chloramine, which is just a combination of chlorine and ammonia. The excessive minerals that are found in well water, for example, it's magnesium, sodium, potassium, iron. If you're thinking about tap water in your city or town, a lot of people will not drink their water if it hasn't been filtered. So when you're thinking about your city water, it has to go through the process to reduce all of those microorganisms so that it's safe to drink. Most city water has chlorine. So if people don't have a water dispenser in their fridge or on their faucet, they tend to buy bottled water. And that's probably because we don't want to consume that. So when you're thinking of the CM neutralizing technology, think of your hair as a sponge that absorbs 100 times its mass. Without a filter, all of those minerals, all of that water with all these chemicals is transferring those harsh minerals and chemicals into the hair, where they're most likely going to penetrate the cortex, and that's where the color lives. So the CM neutralizing complex protects the hair from progressive buildup of these elements and compounds, because since they do have the capability of entering the hair's cortex, it's so common to see color fading, dryness, brassiness. And on clients that have this unfiltered water, you're usually going to end up seeing that their hair feels really brittle and dry. The CM neutralizing complex, it's going to attach to these chemicals, and it's going to, I like to think of it as a magnet. It kind of just attracts them in, and it pulls them out of the hair so that they could be rinsed away. It's going to prevent the oxidation and the fading of the hair color. It's going to extend the longevity of the treatments that are being done. If you do deep conditioning treatments, even not just, keratin smoothing treatments, you're still going to find those effects on keeping your hair in better condition, even just from deep conditioning. It's going to prevent dehydration. So to sum it up, the best way I like to think of it is to imagine having your hair washed with a bottle of water. It's filtered, it's clean. You're not going to have to worry about any of those extra chemicals in your hair. I hope this is making sense. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to pop them into the chat box. I promise I'm going to leave some time at the end so we can go through this. I just want to, I know it's a lot of information and it's a lot of fancy chemistry. So let me know if you have any questions at all. So I have to get into these next 2 slides with the hydrolyzed keratin protein. So bear with me. We're going to talk about moisture retention in the hair. One of the biggest things that you're going to see with traditional keratin treatments is that the hair is going to look amazing the first time you do it. And clients are so excited because the hair is pin straight and shiny and it feels amazing. But over time, what you'll actually see with a lot of the brands out there is that the hair becomes extremely dry and brittle, and you find that it feels worse than it did before they got the treatments. This is usually because the ingredients that are smoothing the hair out are also suffocating the hair shaft over time. A lot of them have very high formaldehyde content, and I am going to get into Keratin Express ingredients in the Plus and the Extra, but in terms of formaldehyde, that it's listed at a high percentage. There are brands out there that have up to 13% formaldehyde in them. They are literally suffocating the hair shaft because the formaldehyde doesn't allow the hair to breathe. So over time, the hair is going to lose its elasticity, its shine, the moisture retention, So with the hydrolyzed keratin protein as a main ingredient in this Keratin Express line, the hair is able to maintain its moisture, not just during the first appointment, but in the long run, it's actually still going to feel just as healthy, if not even more so. It is derived from soy. So this keratin protein is a fibrous protein, and it's the strongest out of all of the proteins out there. This keratin makes up 80% of our hair's composition, so to have it in a treatment like keratin is going to build a ton of strength into it. Keratin contains 18 amino acids, which means it's able to restore broken amino acids and cysteines. The cysteines are the main amino acid that give the hair the strength that it has. So when keratin is hydrolyzed, it just means that the protein is broken down small enough to a molecular level to be deposited into the hair shaft. It's actually small enough to go beyond the cuticle to penetrate the cortex. And when keratin is in this hydrolyzed molecular state, there are more cysteines available for the hair to absorb. So therefore, it's going to reinforce strength and elasticity and improve and restore moisture and shine. Let's see here. I'm such a nerd when it comes to this stuff. I really love the chemistry behind it. I find it really interesting because if you know how the hair works, you kind of know how everything that you're doing to it is going to affect it. So I'm actually kind of a nerd for this stuff. I hope you guys don't mind. The Trametes versicolor extract is a mouthful, but it's the name for a type of mushroom that comes from Indonesia, and it contains the enzyme lacase, I believe is how it's pronounced. This specific enzyme allows cross-linking or bonding proteins in the hair. So I like to think of this enzyme as a lattice pattern. I don't know if any of you bake. I don't, but I'm an expert at watching baking shows. So when you see those pies, for example, with those like interweaving strips over the top, they're kind of like weaving through each other. That's a lattice pattern. And I think of that as the lacase. It's entering the cortex and it's weaving itself through the proteins, especially in the most porous parts of the hair. And the hair is usually porous and fragile because the covalent bonds have been broken. So like traditional keratin treatments break all the bonds in the hair and smooth them out. So we're resetting those bonds in a straighter form, which is why we have straight hair after high formaldehyde keratin treatments. So with this, we're not actually breaking the bonds. We are taking the Trametes versicolor extract as a whole, and it's putting those broken bonds back together for 24 to 48 hours, helping repair the hair from the inside out. It's why it's so important that the aftercare in this line has this ingredient, because every time you wash your hair or use the products that contain it, you're literally repairing the hair from the inside out. So because of its reparative properties, the Trametes versicolor extract is an anti-inflammatory and an antioxidant for the hair. When I get into the aftercare too, you'll see this ingredient is in all of the aftercare. It's in the treatments because we need it to keep those bonds in place. Let's see here. So why does any of this matter? All this chemistry is just to make the point that Keratin Express has totally different technologies. As I mentioned in the beginning, there are plenty of treatments on the market. I'm not going to name any names that have very short-lived results in terms of healthy hair. The hair is going to feel fantastic. Over time, you're going to find that the ingredients and the technology that improve the quality of your hair and extend the life of your treatment, you're now looking for alternative treatments or add-on services to help you repair your hair after it starts to become dry and brittle. So as I mentioned in the beginning, the chemists that research these ingredients are world-renowned, and that's why I like to educate on why the products work. It's not just because it's cost-effective or quicker to apply, which is awesome, but it's also because we're just trying to maintain the integrity of our clients' hair. We are going to jump into the products. So we're going to be talking again about the CM neutralizing complex, the hydrolyzed keratin, and the Trametes versicolor extract. I'm going to try to keep the repetition of these names to a minimum. But before I start on the shampoo, I also want to note that all of the products that I'm going to be going over are paraben, sulfate, and sodium chloride free. All right, so starting with the Keratin Express shampoo, because it's free of all of those ingredients that I just mentioned, it's gentle enough to be used as a daily shampoo. It uses the same CM neutralizing complex to create a barrier in the hair to prevent those chlorides and other minerals from building up in the hair. Again, going back to the idea of a water filter, it's essentially doing that for your hair through the products versus the water. The pH of the shampoo sits between a 5.5 and a 6, which is a little higher than the conditioner. And this is just because the cuticle of the hair needs to be slightly lifted in order for the shampoo to gently cleanse it. So we're not using a ton of chemicals to lift the cuticle. We're just trying to use this shampoo as a way to gently lift it so that the product can really absorb, or so that you can make sure that you're getting all of the oil and buildup out of your hair. It's going to give a deep but gentle cleaning, which is going to go all the way into the cortex of the hair so that any of those chemicals that built up can be removed. If you think about a traditional shampoo, they're only cleaning underneath the cuticle of the hair. So they're not going in as deep to ensure that all the minerals and solids come out. So just as a reminder, you don't need to have a keratin treatment in your hair to use this, but it will extend the life of your color and any treatments that you've done. Okay, going into the Keratin Express conditioner. As it's paired with the shampoo, the same CM neutralizing technology is being used, and with the conditioner, it's actually going to fill the potted areas of your hair, just like potholes in a way. So let's say you've just shampooed, you're going to be rinsing and using the conditioner. I get the question of, because they have that technology, if you're using the shampoo, once you rinse it, if you put something else on top of it, wouldn't you still get those minerals from the water? Because you're still having to rinse out the conditioner, you know? So I think it's really cool that this conditioner, because it has that technology in it as well, it's not going to allow any of the chlorine or the ammonia or the minerals into the hair, because it stays working in your hair for up to 50 gallons of water. So you put this in your hair, you're rinsing the conditioner out. Usually, I mean, if you're like me, I rinse my hair after I'm done kind of doing the rest of my shower routine. So this is going to stay in your hair for up to 50 gallons. It's usually the last thing I do is rinse out the conditioner. So you're still going to have that technology working in your hair, which is awesome. The pH of the conditioner sits a little bit lower, and that's between a 4.5 and a 5.5. We're going to get into the Daily Keratin. I actually really love this product. I use this every time I blow dry my hair. And I have this, I know that there are salons that carry this product alone as a back bar item. You don't have to carry the entire Keratin Express line, but even just having this as a back bar product so that you can give people really wonderful blowouts is a great, it's just a great take home treatment that you can retail to your clients, or just have it back there so when you're blow drying or styling their hair. It's going to be used as a blowout reparative cream. It's important to note that it's going to smooth, condition, and strengthen the hair. It does have to be blow dried into the hair to give you results. So it doesn't work on wet hair, but it's going to cut the drying time down by 50%. It's going to work on any hair type. And the results of the product are the temporary benefits of a keratin treatment. So it's used to add smoothness, shine, frizz reduction, and it lasts from shampoo to shampoo. So as soon as you wash your hair again, you use this, blow dry your hair, you're going to get those results each time you use it and blow dry it in. It repels humidity. It's going to maintain moisture in your hair, even in dry climates. So it's an aftercare product that you can use if you're in a pinch, or you like having those super sleek blowouts every time you wash your hair. This is the only product in the line that doesn't have that CM neutralizing complex. But it does contain the two other main ingredients of the hydrolyzed keratin protein, Trametes versicolor extract. This product should be applied to damp hair, and it's super, super, super concentrated. I have a lot of hair, and I usually think I need about a quarter size of anything that I put in it, if not more. With this one, a dime size or less is more than adequate, even for long, thick hair. So for application, you want to just kind of emulsify it between your hands and apply it to the mids and ends of your hair. I don't recommend applying it to the roots because you want to avoid making the hair feel heavy or oily, since we already know that that's where the natural oils live. And this is a super concentrated product, so it is going to have that slight heaviness to it. People with finer hair can use it. It's just a matter of how much they're going to put in because it is heavy. Getting into the Hydration 7, this is a leave-in conditioner that can help repair and hydrate the hair. It reduces frizz, it increases the shine, color protection. It's going to be a go-to product for detangling, retaining moisture throughout the day, and it's going to improve the overall health of the hair. I really like with the Hydration 7, I know that there are a lot of leave-in treatments out there, but for someone with a keratin treatment, we always want to prevent the hair from kind of stripping out if you're going to the beach, if you're swimming a lot, if you exercise and you wash your hair a lot. You know, those are all things that are going to have effects on your treatment lasting. So I love that the Hydration 7, you could spray this in your hair and create a barrier between, you know, your hair and the water, your hair and sweat, whatever it is, you can spray this in your hair before you go swimming. And it's just going to kind of help maintain this, the treatment a little bit longer. You won't have it as prone to being exposed. So the main ingredient of the Hydration 7 are silk amino acids. These are water-soluble glycoproteins, and this means that they're able to be dissolved in water. They're extracted from raw silk, and because it's an extremely hydrophilic ingredient, which means that the molecules are attracted to water, it has excellent moisture preservation, and this is going to give the hair a soft and silky feel. It does contain the CM neutralizing complex, which is why it's great as a barrier, the hydrolyzed keratin protein, and the Trimides versicolor extract. So the hydration cell complex is another big fancy technology term that's used in this. So it targets stressed hair. When the hydration lipids, which is just moisture, when that moisture enters your hair, this complex is going to act like a parachute, and it's going to expand and it's going to trap that moisture into the hair throughout the day. So I just like to imagine a parachute catching it because we want that moisture to stay in the hair. If you're in very dry climates, you're going to see that that's when you get that static, it's when you get that frizz. So that is their aftercare and their retail. Let's get into the treatments. Let's see here. So Keratin Express's smoothing treatments contain this cyprasyl complex, which is a blend of hydrolyzed keratin protein, cysteine peptides, glycolic acid, calendula, and cocoa butter. It reduces processing and finishing time by up to 75%. Calendula extract is a flowering plant. It helps decrease shedding and helps soothe a sensitive scalp. It's rich in plant minerals that protect from environmental damage. The cocoa butter is also called theobroma oil, and that is derived from the cocoa bean, which has amazing conditioning benefits while helping stabilize the cuticle's ability to retain moisture. And the aloe vera gel, which we all know is great for soothing burns and wounds, but in Keratin Express solutions, it's used as an additional ingredient to help with the hydration. So that's just a breakdown of what, when I mentioned the cyprasyl complex, what exactly that is. It's just all a bunch of really yummy stuff. We're going to start with the extra, if my slide will switch. There we go. So the Keratin Express Extra is an all-in-one treatment. It lasts 4 to 6 weeks, but it's mostly recommended for fine hair. It will help with manageability for all hair types, fine, normal, curly, straight, but because it does have a lower level of formaldehyde than the Plus, it is recommended for fine hair. It's great for color-treated hair. It improves color vitality by 60%. You can do color in the same day with this treatment. And for that, you would begin the Keratin Express immediately after the color service is done. So this is going to create extra smooth, shiny hair. It's going to eliminate frizz up to 90%, and it's going to help tame unruly hair, improve the conditioning, condition and strength and the vitality of the hair while reducing the drying time by 50%. So for me, as someone who it takes an hour to blow dry my hair, it will take me half an hour with a treatment like this. Something to keep in mind is that it does have 1% formaldehyde in it. And I know that there are stylists and clients with concerns when it comes to formaldehyde, but the amount really is quite small, and the entire line is OSHA compliant for safety. It's an easy spray-on formula, and on average, you'd use 2 ounces per head. Clients have to wait 24 to 48 hours after receiving a treatment to do anything with their hair. So if you were to go on their website, they have all of the forms available. That goes for the extra and the plus. You can go onto the website and you'll be able to see exactly how they came up with 1% formaldehyde, 2% formaldehyde. And in the grand scheme of keratin treatments, this is really, really small because most of the ones that are on the market do have upwards of 10, 11, 12, 13% formaldehyde in them. So that's the Keratin Express Extra. And going into the Keratin Express Plus, this one is going to last up to 10 to 12 weeks. So it is longer lasting than the Extra. It's more potent, so it's highly recommended for coarse, curly, frizzy hair. Ideal clients for Plus would include hair with frizz, porosity issues, wavy hair that's dull or lifeless, thick, coarse hair that takes forever to dry. It's great for any clients that are seeking color, vitality, frizz reduction, vibrancy. Hair that is breaking or very seriously damaged, I would probably not recommend this one. I would probably recommend the Extra because it is more potent, and it does contain 2% formaldehyde versus the 1% in the Extra. It's great for color treated hair again. You can do the color in the same day. You would begin the Keratin Express immediately after the service is completed, same as the Extra. It's going to create smooth, shiny hair. It's going to eliminate frizz up to 90%, tame unruly hair, improve the conditioning and strength of the hair while reducing the drying time. So you'll see it's pretty much the exact same as the Extra. The main difference, and I just like to point this out, is just that the formaldehyde is 2% versus 1%, and the time frame that it's going to last is 10 to 12 weeks instead of the 4 to 6 weeks of the Extra. So if you have clients that like to do their Keratin Express when they come in for color, you have a 6-week client, they come in, they'll do the Express Extra every time they come in. With the Plus, they can probably go 2 to 3 appointments without having to do it again. This, of course, would probably result in a difference in pricing, depending on what salon you're in, and they would have to be okay with the difference in the 1% versus the 2% formaldehyde. So those are all things that would go into the consultation. But it is good to know the difference between that, and then just knowing that fragile hair might not be super beneficial in that aspect. So it's a lot of information. The key points and takeaways that I'd like to go through here, we're just going to recap that Keratin Express as a brand was made to give salon professionals a smoothing treatment that is less time, less money, less hassle, and that's actually the model that the company goes by. Again, it's not a smoothing company, nor is it a straightening company, but they like to call themselves the ultimate treatment company, and that happens to have smoothing products. So the line is utilizing CM neutralizing complex technology, hydrolyzed keratin protein, the Trimides Versicolor extract, to provide the hair with non-damaging, shiny, frizz-free results that aren't costly or time-consuming for the client. Keratin Express line has 2 easy-to-use smoothing treatments, a simple line of retail products that are going to assist in maintaining smooth, frizz-free hair, whether it's keratin treated or not. So again, we can market any of the retail in this line as just at-home hair care. It doesn't have to be paired with the treatments. So that was a lot of information. Do you guys have any questions? I haven't checked the chat box yet, but if you guys have any questions, that is it for the presentation. So I would love to answer anything you guys might have. And listed here on the left, you'll actually see I have the Evolve Remote Academy Instagram. They're always posting when we have classes. And when there's a new e-learning live up, my name is Nellie again. This is my Instagram and my personal Evolve email. So if you ever have any questions about the line or you want me to send you, I have like the online pamphlets and different information about Keratin Express. I'm more than happy to do that as well. Any questions?
This is great, Nellie. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you guys for joining. I really appreciate it. Well, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week. Thank you for joining. Okay, let me stop sharing this. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end this.